this is the state of the empire, or I mean commune. Forgive me. So, yeah, before we begin, it has been 8 days since the last recording, and in that time I have actually played a game, not in Kaiserreich, but in HOI4 as Japan, where I conquered China, annexed Russia, all the way over here. I made the mistake of not puppeting the rest, and it became allied. So I started World War III, which was basically Japan and its fascist allies. No, I didn't mention that Germany actually lost World War II and got annexed within 2 years. So I was actually the only remaining fascist country in the world, until I decided to puppet East Germany and Poland and made those into fascists as well. But not Russia, because I regretted that. So anyway, the Russians pushed me back in that war, so I made a defensive line across the Ural Mountains with level 3, 4, 5 forts, and for 6 years the line has been static. They barely even tried to attack me. And there is also the Afghan front between Japan and the Brits, and I had a Burmese Indian front. Is that Japan there right now? Yeah. What faction is Siam in? Oh, they're together with Japan. Interesting. How did Germany even get Manchuria? Anyway, and basically static border war with Vietnam for many years. I also fortified Japan itself with level 5 coastal forts all across the coast, and a bunch of ordinary land forts scattered all around, having garrisoned every single province along the coast in Japan, as well along this entire Russian, Korean, Chinese coast, even down to Vietnam. A division in every single province. And basically I've been that way for 5 years, and the Allies haven't stopped trying to naval invade me. So despite having basically 2/3 of the world, the US, basically almost entire Europe except East Germany and Poland, as well as Russia against me, the European, but also the strong part of Russia against me. And yeah, they still attempt to naval invade me, and they still fail. Yeah, I'm kind of the player that thinks that a sort of slowly pushing yourself out of a stalemate actually something interesting. Which also might explain why this series is so slow. But I have learned valuable lessons from that game, so I will put those into use now, and hopefully we will be quicker than ever in finishing off the Germans, and well, either finish off the series or take on the big green blob in the east. Anyway, I looked through the last video, and I already did the naval stuff, at the end there, so I don't have to open up with that. So let's check through all of this. I couldn't get oil, that I remember. I actually think I have a Ford with something over here. Question is, what do I want? Faster construction for factories? That's actually pretty good. Also, if I can't get oil, I should get refineries, which actually I used for the first time in my Japan game. And it took me like 10 years in the game before I started using them. But they're actually very useful, and once you get a bunch of them, you actually don't need to import anymore. Do we have any... Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, let's go for that one. So, I actually have more naval factories, but since I don't have oil, it won't be so much use though. I also learned that submarines are pretty useless in this game. And they can't be used on their own. So I don't think I'm gonna prioritize submarines really. So what do I have a surplus of and can make use of right now? I got a bit of a surplus of artillery, infantry equipment, motorized, and a hell of a lot of medium tanks. That was the one thing I was thinking when I looked through the series, is that we got a bunch of tanks and we really should use them. So yeah, more armor divisions. Can probably slow down the fighter production and bomber production. Yeah, get some surplus over there. Yeah, I can probably calm down with the tanks as well. Then yeah, like I said, submarines, so let's stop doing that. We can start working on the next tank instead. Yeah, but what are we gonna build right now? Let's check through our units to see what how about support equipment or even more infantry equipment? Let's take a bit more support equipment. I think we have enough infantry equipment because that's just gonna rise. Yeah, more anti-tank, I guess, so that we can use them for that one as well. Now, let's get back to the fighting. So, before I I quit last time. My tactic was to just, as with Austrian, await them, let them kill themselves off on my defensive lines. But so far, I don't think the Germans have actually tried to attack us, basically anything. Also, if in case you were somewhat annoyed that I didn't use the combat log effectively, I believe I have at least somewhat learned to make a better use of it. And holy shit, 15,000, but there's still 13 or 14,000 on the German side, so it's still pretty equal. But yeah, as this says, this is the northern one. 25 days since the last attack. They won't attack this front. This one we know, because they haven't attacked that despite being at war for 2 years. And it's still 20 days over here. Yeah, we need to take the initiative. Also, I have become better at supply areas. And what? No, that can't be accurate right now. And know how to increase infrastructure and so on. Yeah, I have become an overall much better player after playing that Japan game. But let's see. Let's have it update first before we do anything else. Oh shit! Apparently they changed their mind. Well, just let them. Oh, really? Even over the. Holy shit! That's literal suicide. So I know how to use these as well. So their soft attack is basically around 50-60 at best. Their breakthrough is around 20, perhaps 30. Yeah. My soft attack is 200-300. My defense is like 700-900. There's no chance in hell. And that's even, or maybe that's counted in there. I haven't got a clear answer about that, but there you can see the fort. There is a level 7 fort. They haven't attacked this line in the entire game, and now they suddenly lost their mind and decided to commit suicide over the border. I don't know why, but I welcome it. Just as long as the game doesn't become too easy though, which could be the risk, but well, we got some free factories again. I'm having more factories now than I did as Japan in that game, and there I was basically a superpower against the rest of the world. I think with this much, well, it could be good to build up a surplus if I have the resources, but I think I have too much industry to know what to do with it really. But sure, I can build up. Let's build some. Also, I was using some mods in that game that made that you could upgrade, make variants of artillery equipment, even trucks you could make variants and change stuff on. So that was good. Oh, I also used a mod that expanded the research tree instead of just ending at 43, it continued all the way to like 1953, an additional 10 years, and was railway artillery, like modern artillery. 47 we got more rocket artillery, modern mobile rocket artillery, and surface to air missiles. Yeah, that was a great mod. I don't have the name right now, but I can give the names of it in the description. Yeah, I will do that if I remember to.